the people's best reactions to the 2025 Alboune Grand Prix. Alright, we're back once again for the people's best reactions. I'm joined by Greg as always. Yes. And today we're going to talk about the Alboune Grand Prix. Yay! First, let's go for our race rating. So, it actually... You know what? Let's answer the first question and then go to our race rating. So here's the first question. What did you think of the race, personally? I personally think it was a pretty good race. I would say it was a 7 out of 10, which is pretty good for Alboune standards. Normally Alboune is small, it's no overtaking. It's kind of like Monaco and Macau if they had a baby, but it's very, very tight. But there's still space to overtake. But yeah, it actually had a great race. Well, a decent-ish, great race. But yeah, 7 is pretty decent for an Alboune, because last year was bad. Let's be real, last year was boring. Literally the whole top 10 finished in the same positions. Yeah, this year I'll give it a 7 out of 10 as well. I think it was very good, for Alboune standards. You know, I thought they were gonna do the mandatory 2-stop, but I think the safety car threw that off. Well, the red flag threw that off. But there's some people that still, like, went to try it, and it was still pretty entertaining anyways. Yeah, next question. Who was at fault? Mon or who? Of course, they're referring to the first lap incident that included Mon, Jade, and Kyla. Of course, Mon did get a a couple penalty points. I think, personally, that was his fault for trying to go up the inside there. Like, he probably could have just waited until he actually got to the corner. But it's Alboune, so it's not much space to work with anyways, and, like, the slightest mistake and you're in the wall. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, same analysis there, basically. Basically, yeah. But he called the red flag. So we had to go back. It's the longest red flag we've had in a while because there was literally 3 cars blocking the track. And yeah, in the first lap we also had Dragma overtake Roger. Roger, we'll get about him later. By the way, we are doing driver ratings. Next question coming in. It's the summer break. I completely forgot. Same thing. Like, me and, both of us were just talking about it. I cannot believe I forgot that it's a summer break. Like, this is one of the series that has one of the earliest summer breaks of all time. Because, of course, Rally Set Trick and stuff. But yeah, I completely forgot it was a summer break. I don't honestly feel like this calendar this year was done very well. I don't think it was a great calendar. Like, I hate the summer break being this early. Yes, Alboune's there. Yes. But that means you should get more races in, like, because now the season's starting to build up momentum, and all of a sudden there's a summer break. This is just my summer break rant, by the way. But, like, we've only had one or two double headers, and then the season started in March. We've had 3 months of racing, and we've only had 7 rounds. And that sounds like great on paper, but yeah, they should throw some more rounds in there. Hey, at least that means that we still have the whole season to go, basically, but yeah. Anyways, other people who had pretty bad races, Roger. Anonymous, most of the race. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the fact that Manton won. Manton, excellent performance from him. Winning from 3rd on the grid in Alboune is crazy. I know, like, the other safety car came out and stuff, or the VSC, which we haven't seen in a while. Like, it's been a while since we've seen the VSC. I don't think I've seen it since, like, the starting of last season. Like, it's been a while since we've seen a VSC. But yeah, that bunched things up, and David and George had to come back for the pack. David North, I think he's the driver today. You would say that, of course. But no, he was able to come back through the pack to 3rd place in Alboune. On the Alboune, it's not really like Monaco. You can actually like somewhat overtake there. Oh yeah, we also got to talk about that fight between Manton and Ocon. That, oh my goodness, I like to see them race. It's poetry when they race most of the time. But yeah, it was just so good, and it meant a lot because since David Norris got screwed over, that fight was basically for the lead. That's why every overtake is, that shows why every overtake means something, because you never know if it's going to turn into the lead later. You never know what's going to happen. And yeah, that showed it literally. They're battling for what seemed like just second, but yeah, it translates into the lead sometimes. Yeah, other things that happened, of course, we're not going to talk too much because we're getting into driver ratings, but yeah, crazy that this is a summer break. I completely forgot that the summer break was a thing. But yeah, at least that means more content and driver news coming up. Also, in the more news, the Alboune Grand Prix got extended. What do you think about that? Well, after the great race that we had there, I'm happy about that. Also, it's a classic track, one of the few tracks that's been on the calendar from the first year. And yeah, we're gonna have it for 2 more years, as it's extended until 2027, which is great. And hopefully that two-stop mandatory works next time out. Or we'll have completely new cars by then, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for the people's best reactions to this Grand Prix. Of course, we'll have our driver ratings coming out. I think Wednesday. I think because this is summer break, so we have time to chill. Also, this is the first time in a while that we've released driver this on a Monday because every week we're just normally slacking. Also, sorry that we haven't did predictions or anything really this weekend. It's scrappy, honestly. Sorry about that. It's not as we mentioned before. It's not the easiest to get us both here sometimes. But yeah, and that's gonna wrap it up. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.